Does Berkeley deny the material world altogether if it were not sustained by God? Yes, Berkeley denies the existence of a material world independent of perception. In his philosophy, he argues that what we call material objects are actually collections of ideas or sensations that exist only in the minds of perceiving beings. However, these ideas and sensations have order, coherence, and persistence because they are sustained by God, the ultimate perceiver. Key points in Berkeley's view. No material substance. Berkeley rejects the concept of material substance, the idea that objects exist independently of any mind or perception. He argues that we only ever experience sensory perceptions, e.g., color, texture, sound, and that there is no evidence for a material world behind these sensations. A chair, for instance, is not a physical object in itself but rather a bundle of visual, tactile, and other sensory ideas experienced by a perceiving subject. For example, the chair we see is not a physical entity out there but a collection of ideas, color, shape, hardness, etc., that exist in our mind when we perceive it. God as the sustainer. Berkeley recognizes that objects appear to persist even when no human mind is perceiving them. To account for this, he proposes that God continuously perceives all things, ensuring their existence and consistency. For instance, a tree continues to exist when no one is looking at it because God perceives it. Estate percipi, to be is to be perceived. This famous phrase encapsulates Berkeley's view. The existence of an object depends on it being perceived by a mind. Without a perceiver, an object has no existence in itself. Implications of God's role. Berkeley's reliance on God is central to his system. God guarantees the orderliness of the world. Without God, the ideas we perceive would lack the consistency and predictability that make the world intelligible. God ensures the existence of objects beyond individual human perception, bridging the gap between subjective perception and shared reality. Without God's sustaining perception, Berkeley would argue that there would be no basis for the continued existence of the world as we know it. In this sense, Berkeley does not deny the world outright but reinterprets its nature as dependent entirely on perception, with God as its foundational perceiver.